It's a big speech, obviously, Shannon, as the president addresses the National Association of Manufacturers. And this has been an important speech for him for a couple of reasons. First of all, the theme is really simple, right? Lower taxes, especially from a business perspective, that will spur growth and make America and American businesses specifically more competitive on a global scale. But I think this is also important because the president will emphasize a provision that would allow businesses for the next 5 years to write off the full cost of new equipment in the year it was purchased. That is huge if you come from the manufacturing belt in this country, let me tell you. Now, last night, the president was extolling the virtues of the Trump economy on Twitter, writing the following: GDP revised upward to 3.1% for last quarter. Many people thought it would be years before that happened. We have just begun. But it still begs the question, right? Will he get buy-in, especially bipartisan buy-in with Democrats? Now, earlier today, we had a chance to hear from a fairly skeptical budget director, Mick Mulvaney. He was talking on Fox.
So many of them are so heavily invested in this talking point that anything that is good for the economy must be a giveaway to the rich, that they'll never consider voting yes. But I think you saw the president ask Senator Donnelly to go to Indiana. A couple of the senators have been out on the road with him, Democrats. Yes, we are reaching across the aisle to see if there's folks who are reasonable, who want to talk about what's good for the actual American economy and American families.
Here's the thing. Clearly, this is a circumstance where there will be Democrats who are under pressure, Shannon. They will have to side with this administration if it means lower taxes, because that is a huge issue as we look forward to the midterm elections coming up.
All right, Kevin, also controversy surrounding Human and Health Services Secretary Price. He says that he is sorry about these private jets that he took. He's going to repay taxpayers for the travel. The president has indicated he's not happy about it. So does he survive?
Yeah, listen, you never want your boss to say he's not happy, especially when it's this boss who is known for saying two pretty famous words: you're fired. Now, clearly, Tom Price is a guy who is saying, I'm going to repay the taxpayers, and that's something that he should say. He also said he'd do whatever it takes to regain the trust of both his boss and the American people.
The demonstration by paying for my portions of these trips, I think, is a huge demonstration. It's unique. It's never been done before, unprecedented, as I'm told. Second is the suspension of all private air charter travel by me or anybody in the department at this point.
Dr. Price talking to our Brett Baer last night. This is a circumstance where you don't want to do something that gets you blown up, especially this early in the process where you have so much at stake. And clearly, Tom Price is feeling a great deal of pressure and remorse. Shannon.
All right, Kevin. Well, the White House investigating the use of personal email, too, among staffers. Some news has come out about that this week. How significant is the fallout? Will there be any consequences? What do we know?
Well, listen, in a deep state environment, which is what we have here in Washington, and especially when you think about everything this administration does will be heavily scrutinized by the press, you just have to be buttoned up. I don't think there's any other way to put this. This is a circumstance where you can't be sloppy. I'm not making an equivalence between using emails in this circumstance with what we talked about in the 2016 election. But Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I beg your pardon, said something pretty important yesterday. She said, we have to do everything by the book, and she made this comment in the press briefing.
The White House has been clear and instructs all staff to fully comply with Presidential Records Acts. All staff has been briefed on the need to preserve those records, and will continue to do so.
Look, preserve the records, do the right thing, don't get caught knocked off message because of doing something that's effectively sloppy and maybe even be unlawful.